start recording. That's so crazy. Does anyone want to give a review of last time? I will give inspiration if so.
Bruce already has inspiration. For like 7 sessions.
Would you give inspiration for an I can't remember joke?
No, sadly. I get the feeling you wouldn't either.
I mean, the only thing I can remember is we had the we were underground with Thorn. Next day, post battle, I got a message from Tonto basically saying ship was going down on the surface. We need to get there like ASAP. And as part of that, Thorn then kind of got us back to the surface pretty immediately.
Mm-hmm.
We say as a group, we all started getting weird, use the word visions, I guess, of things that hadn't happened but felt very much like they had. We went to the... I can't remember what it's called right now.
Temple of Loose Ends.
That one. To see what's going on there and see if I could find Tonto. We were told Tonto was on a mission and we were given a note. I can't remember what the note said. But we opted to start looking around, see if we can't figure out what was happening. We ended up with some of Ivana's friends who gave us costumes to look like acolytes, and Ivana decided to look like the Archmage so that we could bypass some security in looking for Lyric and Tonto, who were together using a magical device that was totally top secret and we should know about. We got to the abandoned tower place, and as part of that, I might have inadvertently shot a spirit, because I shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
We got up. Lyric is unconscious and very much not okay. And that's where we ended the session.
Yeah.
That is what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will also add that some people seem to have over-exercised certain parts of their body.
Yeah. So crazy. Also, that's what she said.
I couldn't think of a way to phrase it than myself in a "that's what she said" joke. So I'm both proud and disappointed in you.
I waited.
I also don't know what Charlie's referring to off the top of my head, so...
There have been...
like Karis's wings were hurting and...
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But as we come back to this moment, I think most of you were still with Tornto talking about your arrival here, while Ivana had gone to check on Lyric. So which group would like to go first for anything?
I think Brutus was focused on the little spirit, actually. I don't think Brutus has paid attention to any conversations.
The spirit is currently in my backpack.
Okay. Yeah, so Brutus is just now tuning into Tornto.
Ivana is not ignoring Tornto, but is so focused on Lyric right now because Ivana knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn, still on your shoulder, or did I get off? I can't remember.
No, you're still on my shoulder.
Play.
But I can bring you down at any point.
I will stay on your shoulder for now.
Yeah, I think we sort of sent you to check on Lyric while I chatted with Taunton and was like, what the fuck is going on? And I believe we had found out that Taunton was there because of his clairvoyance. I could remember things in between resets, but he wasn't sure how many resets had happened.
Yes.
The letter that was sent to the temple was like they realised that was the quickest way to get us to where we needed to be, which is to them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second ended with us looking out over the thing. We could see the army marching towards the city.
Yes.
That was the cliffhanger ending.
As this is now in sight, Torto kind of like curses softly and glances towards the stairs which lead up to where Avon and Lyric are, saying, "We might have to wake Lyric soon, or gods, it's I'm not entirely certain on when we're supposed to restart the loop. But I know there is a certain point where it would be no going back, and we need to turn back before that point. Then that would mean none of you would remember, and we need to find a way to make sure that you all can remember, because we don't have enough time by the time you all get here. I'm fairly certain, from what I understand."
Okay, Evan, what are the memories that we remember? The ones that have been bleeding through.
I mean, the only thing I remember is being in a alleyway and being overwhelmed.
Lyric in a tower.
Mine was I think it was the East Gate blowing up.
I haven't had any memories bleeding through.
Well, I don't have full memory of all of the ones that happened. The last Lyric told me before she passed out, needing rest, is that apparently 2 loops ago, you all had a plan. That plan didn't work. She didn't specify why. The loop before this one, you tried to stop the explosives, and presumably, I can only assume, died in the blast. Or didn't stop the blast, or something, because Lyric had to rewind again. I think she said something about she usually gets a message right before the point of no return. I'm not sure what the message is. She sort of passed out right away, and I'm only getting the blurriest of visions that instruct me to come here and to assist.
Okay. But is she even going to be able to do this again? I mean, look at her.
I don't know. And I don't have the skills necessary to use the Layrite. That is for certain. Are any of you arcane casters of any sort?
Everyone looks at Ivana.
Really? I'm the only one?
Tabitha moment.
Yeah.
Tabitha is filled with arcane energy.
She's like, I've got the power.
I've got the power.
It tickles me that you can hear that from like 10 feet away.
Yeah. There is the possibility. from my understanding, I'm not very skilled with arcane mechanics in any sort of way, especially since I can't exactly see what I'm working with and just sort of going off of magical feeling and what I can understand. Um, but this device pulls power from technically a divine source, but it almost seems like it's secretly taking that power. If maybe there's a way to take even more of that power, maybe that would suffice for making it work, but I'm not. I know divine things, but this is not my area of expertise.
Brutus is going to sigh very heavily as he realizes that once again he has painted himself into a corner. And he just asks out loud, okay, I'm not the biggest expert on divine domains myself, but would Neris or Angarda have anything to do with time? Anyone know offhand?
Somebody make a religion check, if they so desire.
And Brutus does not know this, that's why he's putting it to the room.
Mm-hmm.
I will make a roll.
Play.
The cleric probably should do some kind of roll.
I got a 6, so no.
The cleric should not have done some kind of roll. I got a 7.
Plus 5 to religion or something?
Alright, I do have some religious knowledge, so I'll say, Lord help us. Okay, I don't actually have thing up here. Oh, way too distracted, are you?
Karis
Let's
busy.
start with 15.
Oh, slay! Karis is having a crisis of religion. He can't think about gods right now.
That's fair.
So that is 18 total.
18. Okay, slay. I will tell you straight off, Thane. You know it is very likely not Neris. Neris is considered a guardian to monsters. And you have heard about, kind that sort of secretly she's also involved with spirits. But Angarda is a name you've heard much more before. Usually through stories, and especially in your training, it was spoken a lot about how Angarna would sometimes call spirits to their aid, almost like a summoning, but not in like a forcible way, more like in a we have made a promise to each other way.
Okay.
And you're not sure if it's explicitly time, but that stories about that figure specifically always seem to show up at the exact right moment. To the point where now that you're thinking about that and the idea of time, you're kind of having this thought of, that is kind of crazy that this specific figure always shows up at the exact second needed somehow. It's crazy. It's almost like they can time travel or something.
I will put this to the group with a minor shrug, because my knowledge of religion more revolves around spirits being fucky little shits. So I'll just be like, I mean, this is kind of vaguely what I'm remembering from my studies.
Okay, well, that sounds more likely than the big dragon brood mother. Okay, great. I need to make better choices, apparently. So we have a conduit directly to a god who may or may not have access to time magic, and that conduit is inked into my arm. I have no, I mean, would that be enough to channel power, or would I need, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Toronto, you cannot see most of Toronto's expression considering the blindfolds. But you can see arm and shoulder movements, which is kind of like, a shrug. Uh, as Toronto says, you could certainly try. I have attempted calling for divine aid, and according to Lyric, it has not been quite helpful in the past, as Sahanath's domain does not quite assist in such a way.
Yeah, it's reading time, not influencing. Right, okay. Anyone got a better idea than me trying to potentially channel divine power into a weird, fucky wizard artifact that screws with time?
I think, personally, before we try any of that, things like clearly just sort of he's like mentally just trying to put everything together, and he's like slightly stressed. Tonto, is what you're saying is that we need to do this again? We need to turn back time again, but we don't even. You said that if we do that, then our memory's going to go. There's no way for us to remember something. So if we turn back time now, we're just putting Brutus at risk without any positive payoff, and we still don't know really what is happening. So
Yes.
before we try to turn back time again, maybe we need to figure out what is happening and how we are going to be able to remember if we turn back time.
Yes, I think it would. I hate to say it, but it would be best to wake Lyric. She has more details, but absolutely needed the rest to try and recuperate at least some of her magic. So I put her down with a little bit of give some finger wiggles, a sleep spell. But we should definitely try and see if she can be more specific about what it is exactly that is this apparent point of no return. She was convinced that there was no way to save the city at all if that point of no return came. And for us to be able to stop it, we certainly need to know what that point is.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to try and wake her up.
All right.
Better you than me.
Go for it. What are you doing?
I'm just going to go up to her, touch her on the shoulder, and I want to cast Mage Armor.
Slay, I assume on her.
Yes.
Okay.
In that way of basically trying to give her some magic, but that's the only one of my only ones that doesn't. I mean, I could charm person her, but I don't think that would come across very well. It's basically just a way to get magic into her to try and wake her up, is my thoughts.
Sure.
This is the best way Ivana can think about what to do in terms of their abilities.
Mm-hmm. As your magic sweeps over Lyric, there is a couple seconds, and then she stirs somewhat. And even before she opens her eyes, she kind of is muttering and saying, Anna, are you there?
I'm here. We know about the loop. You need to tell us more information. Oh, are you okay?
Right.
In that order.
She's kind of like, bracing her arms under herself to sit up more properly.
We'll help her sit up properly.
Yeah. Tornto leads the rest of you up the short staircase into the area that Lyric and Ivana are currently in. There is a sleek black case sitting on the ground in the center of this open air tower section. It looks it's certainly covered in fine leather, but it's not fancy, it's not filigreed, it's not labeled in any way. It is just sitting there with a small, discreet lock on it. Alright, where is the sun at? For anyone who is taking a look, it is just about noon currently.
About noon.
Sun high in the sky.
Alright. I will probably be receiving the sending shortly. There is every loop about 2 hours before the Empire arrives here. I receive a sending. I'm assuming from a spy. I do not know exactly which one. I don't recognize her voice. But she communicates to me that apparently there's here before I went down to rest, I tried to write it down exactly. And she reaches into one of her belt pouches and pulls out a crumpled bit of paper. Apparently there's some sort of person that can activate something that will descend the city into a plague. I've taken to calling this agent the Plague Bringer because honestly, I don't have the energy to be creative. And I've been told, if this isn't stopped, then Shevgard will be fully taken, and not only that, but turned against the Alliance. And that once this process starts, it will not end until the agent dies. And she does hand to Ivana a scrap of paper that says this. After I receive that sending, it's roughly about 2 hours until the Empire arrives at our gates. When the Empire arrives, they don't immediately cross blades with our forces to the east. Instead, they send out one person, who I have been referring to as the Plaguebringer. I cannot see them, I have not managed to get close enough and pass loops. But they approach surrounded by this smoke of thickness, and the second any of our warriors get close to them, they're falling either completely ill or dead. I have not been able to get close enough to kill this person, to stop them, to anything. And once that singular person reaches the gates, they are the ones who blow them up, and then the rest of the Empire sweeps in. And apparently this sickness has the capability to spread to the entire city. Not last time. A few loops ago, you all tried to fight the Plague Bringer directly. I assume you all felt illness, though, as Brutus is the only one who returned and told me to set off the loop. You've also tried stopping this Plague Bringer from setting off the bombs. I'm not sure if you all died, but either way, the gates did come down, so I set off the loop. I have tried everything I can think of until... everything I can think of with what I have. I don't have the power necessary to let you all keep your memories when the loop happens. And since this warning says that if the agent starts this plague process, it can't be stopped. My hope is that maybe if we get there fast enough, we can stop the agent from starting the process. But I think we need a lot more time for that. As in, you all need your memories from the very moment a loop starts.
When does the loop start?
When Thane receives the letter the sending from Tonto.
What time this morning was that? Was that like 8 o'clock, give or take? Or has it not been that?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, cool. So we have 4 hours to work with?
Say again, Clay?
Either way, I think we were underground when Thane got that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I'm in my head computing.
Would there be a way of us writing letters to ourselves so that we remember things, or would that not work?
Items do not stay. They return to their original spot.
Okay, I'm going to do something I don't even know. Do our bodies stay the same?
No.
I was actually thinking about doing like thieves can't shorthand on like Ivana's like body somewhere, basically with a dagger.
Lyric, it does still look very out of it. And she kind of briefly glances at you, Ivana, as you're contemplating this. They don't. And thank the gods for that. Or I think all of us would already be dead. Maybe other than me.
Well, if we're dead, then no world saving, huh?
Apparently.
So how to go about us keeping our memories?
I can set off the device again. I'm more than able. And she pushes herself to start to stand. The problem is that while I have enough power to set it off, I don't to activate the next step, which is allowing anyone else to keep their memories as well. We would need some greater source of power to achieve that. I've tried.
Do you know where the power to focus this comes from? It's been implied that there is a source beyond yourself and the machine. So do you know what source that is?
Oh, vaguely. This was designed even before I began working with the Archmage, but I will say this much. I don't fully understand the spells that the device uses. But it in some way, I would say, hijacks divine magic to do these localized time resets. And to my understanding... Yes.
Right, brief question, like, out of the character. Would Astral Refuge work?
Remind me what Astral Refuge does.
As an action, you disappear from the world for a brief moment and enter the astral plane, taking advantage of its timeless nature. While in your astral refuge, you can take 2 actions to cast spells that target only you. After using those 2 actions, you return to the space you've occupied and your turn ends. So I think it's mainly used for combat, but I don't know.
Yes. I don't think it would work, specifically because of the idea of the space you occupy. So
yeah.
It would get fucky if a time rewind happened during that.
And then you're in a built tower, you could reappear in like the middle of a bookcase or something.
Can you imagine?
Tito glitches
Well,
into
also,
the wall.
it specifically says, like, it affects only you and the rest of the world isn't moving. So, like, there's not really a way to interact with that as it goes.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it is that thought, if Tito can pop into this astral world, pop back once the time loops,
Yeah.
and then is already there and has memories.
It takes 2 turns, and you guys could write letters to yourself. I could keep them and then dish them out, and then that would.
Let me see.
You're outside of time, is the point. So,
Yeah.
while you're there, time isn't passing. But then when you come back, time starts passing again, which means you're still caught up when the loop resets. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I see
Yeah.
what you mean.
But Lyric says, to my understanding, it hijacks this magic from some deity connected to time, and it is supposed to be, well, I have been led to believe that this is not something that is done with permission. This is stealing. Adriellen is stealing this magic.
And why rising?
I'm not sure which god exactly it is, but perhaps if this god would agree to help on their own. I mean, last loop I even caved and tried a bit of prayer myself, but there was no answer. Though I'm not sure if that's because it was me or because of some other fucking reason.
Who were you praying to is the next question. Toronto obviously is praying to Sahanis. Who were you asking?
Anyone who was listening. I had hoped if this was a device that stole magic, that perhaps that god was aware or watching or something. There was nothing.
Well, sorry, I, Connor, am trying not to laugh at the idea of proposing a prayer circle right now. It's like, let's all get in a circle and invoke the god.
I mean, I feel like at this point, Karis is starting to look a little bit sort of shifty and uncomfortable.
Can I roll insight on Karis to see what's going on there?
Can I also roll insight on
Sure. The two rogues turn as one to stare.
I mean, 21 insight. I am an inquisitive rogue. This is kind of my doll. Like, this is what I do.
And what did you get, Chloe?
16.
Slay. Alright. So, Karis, do you want to roll deception or anything of that sort, or would you rather just let these go?
I mean, I don't know what I would roll to contest.
Persuasion? I don't know, persuasion makes sense to me. If you're
Persuasion, performance, deception, all of these things could be argued for depending on how he's going about it and what he's trying to conceal. So.
I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to conceal anything. I'm just saying that he's looking a bit uncomfortable.
Then you don't have to roll anything.
Cool.
I would say then that both of these rolls do succeed. What would you say that they glean from you, Charlie?
Just that this talk of gods, etc., and prayer is making Karis a little uncomfortable.
Fair. Who could imagine?
Yeah, the cleric who just told his god to go fuck himself. is made uncomfortable by this discussion. Wild.
Paris, is there anything you can do? It is religion, after all.
What would you have me to do?
Did you learn how to pray, or do I want to explain that to you?
My prayers have been interrupted recently.
Well, that's helpful. Interrupted how?
There is something, I don't know exactly what, that is stopping me from getting to marry on this.
Brutus, are you having the same with your god?
I was never the praying sort to begin with, so don't look at me.
If you insist I try, I will, but I would really rather not.
No, I don't think you need to pray to Maranovis, but if we could find the name for this time god, or you can just try and pray to them even if we don't know their name.
Going by the fact that my right arm has been burning all morning, and we're pretty sure Neris isn't connected to this right now, I'd say Engarda is probably our best bet.
Shame you don't have Phineas anymore.
But speaking of, just quick check-in, Quinn. How does it feel knowing Phineas is almost certainly dead?
You never know. Well, hey, Phineas was in Srithman, which is where supposedly the Archmage is right now in battle. So, you know, who knows?
So our route was for his family, not for Phineas himself, so...
Oh, don't worry. Remember, Phineas's family is taking shelter in Chefguard.
His agreement was for his family.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fleeing the burning ruins of the city, but they'll be fine.
Would I know of any specific rituals that Sangada worshippers would partake in before praying?
I would say roll religion, and I will actually give you this one at advantage for a specific reason, which we might get into.
And that is 19.
A slay. Was that due to the advantage, or was that your first roll?
That was the advantage.
Slay. Before you were hired for this job, Karis, you were hired by the Alliance, and you did some base level of looking into, like, what's some things I should watch out for with my employer. You know that Engarda is considered, like, the patron god of the Alliance, like, those sorts of things. What really jumped out to you, and thus you remember most in this moment, is that, well, technically, yes, there is worship of Engarda. There aren't really clerics of them. There aren't really paladins of them. And you have heard that they are not a god that just comes when called. It's almost like it is very, very specific. You got the impression that there was only very, very specific ways to invoke their power that the larger public was not aware of. Uh, and that was for a reason. Um, and I will say specifically what holds out to you is one of Angarna's uh, titles that is the one most often invoked, the one that is depicted in their very symbol, all these things, and that is specifically the threefold guardian. And you're thinking about this, that there's no really way to reach out and take power from this god, but something with threefold. There's three parts. And that's what I'll give you with a 19. And I will also tell you, not due to that roll, but just kind of in general. Even as a cleric of a specific god, you can try to ask for help from other deities. It's just, depending who you're the cleric of, your god might might be offended, the other god might be offended. It really depends. But you can technically still try and reach out.
We don't know who Karis' god is right now.
Yeah, but he hasn't said that.
Deific politics are in full swing. That's good to know. So I will share about the threefold thing, and I'm not sure how best to reach out to them, if they are even reachable at all.
Thane, can you roll me an insight check?
Mm-hmm.
Quinn just gave me a look.
Nat 20 for 21.
It is.
Skill!
The DC was
Brutus
very.
Brutus also has a passive insight for 17. So
Oh no, I know. It was higher than 17. The
Fair
DC for this was disgustingly high, and Thane was the only one who might have noticed due to his familiarity with this person.
Yeah, I can roll higher than a 21.
Yeah.
Not.
Thane, it is small, it is quick, but something about what Kars just said has thrown Tornto off. He is looking just for like a heartbeat. Conflicted and kind of struck, but does not say anything and falls quiet.
I'm gonna head over to Tornto. And just at first just make it look like I just want to be close to him, like I'm worried, I've missed him. And use that as an opportunity to just sort of lead him away ever so slightly. And I'll kind of, once we're sort of sliding away from everybody, I will be like, alright, you want to tell me what that look was about?
It may not be important.
Everything is important right now.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me persuasion thing. Doing a cute pose.
19?
Slay. You have not seen Tornto so torn about something before. And nervous fidgeting, and he lowers his voice significantly as he speaks. This is we're not supposed to talk about this. At all. But threefold, I don't know this for a fact. I don't know I don't know for a fact that this is connected. But
Okay.
this, I understand that you will probably want to tell your companions about this. This
If you
cannot.
don't want me to say anything, I won't.
If you think it's connected, then okay. But this cannot. Much in the same way that word of this device cannot spread, what I'm about to say cannot spread either. I'm technically near sworn to secrecy on this, like binding sworn.
Okay.
It is a highly protected secret that and I never understood why it was so secret, but maybe this is why. Sahaneth is in a relationship with two other gods.
Okay.
Does that sound like a dumb connection to I don't know, I heard threefold and then I don't know.
Do you know who these other gods are?
Yes, one of them is Anoe, the goddess of storms and like wild, and the other one is the goddess of love, like all kinds of love, not just romantic, but also like familial and friendship and anyways, Grilva. And I in my teachings a few hundred years ago, we were instructed to remove all depictions of the three of them together. And it used to be no knowledge, like that the three of them were like a trio, that they were rarely seen without the other, that they supported each other. And then for some reason, a few hundred years ago, it became a secret. It became forbidden knowledge. To my understanding, it's not like a. This sounds stupid. It wasn't like a breakup. It just, for some reason, became protected information.
And do you think this god Angada has anything to do with that?
I mean, with my surface level knowledge, Angarna isn't one of the gods that was present at creation. Angarda, as a god, didn't show up until much later. Doesn't have a physical form most of the time. Only shows up in battle. Denies all worship. Clerics, anything. I don't know. It's odd that as this battle with the Empire began, all of a sudden we had to hide the details of our goddesses from view. And yet the Alliance flies specifically Angarada as their patron god. A god who has no worship, who does not respond to prayers. It's... I don't know.
Could it be taking the focus off them because of the veracity, maybe?
Perhaps. I know that Grilva and Anoe are not considered necessarily major gods. The Sahaneth is the most widely worshipped of the three. And she has always been deeply involved in the war. and yet for some reason is oddly silent when I've tried to ask about this topic of Angarda.
Well, right now, what we need is divine power. We don't necessarily need. Do we need Angada's power? Is that the necessary part here, or can we implore other gods to lend us their strength in this moment?
I mean, we could certainly try, but if what Lyric is saying is true, that this device takes power from the god of time, presumably Angarda, then it might be best to make a plea to them, but I don't know how we would get to them or catch their attention, or... I'm unsure.
Because I can't imagine, that if this device is taking from them without their consent, I guess, they aren't going to be particularly happy if we're still rocking up going, hi, can we have some more?
Exactly, which is... If what Sakurai is saying is true, then the Archmage has been doing this many times, taking this power many times, so I cannot imagine it has been done without the god's knowledge. At least not entirely. So maybe there is a degree of approval or pretending not to notice? Or maybe Angarda is not necessarily a person?
What, you think Angada is a concept?
I don't know.
I was being sarcastic, but your response now just makes me more concerned about this whole thing. Could Angada be... if they're being so shady about anything to do with Angada, could Angada be their creation?
Perhaps. I at this point, I doubt I'll get an answer from Sahaneth. She has been silent to me on this matter, but perhaps one of the other two would answer? I know that Anoe is very tied with a lot of spirits, which I will say to you, Thane, you know this is indeed true, and Anoe, as a god of nature, is deeply tied to a great number of spirits, almost to the degree that your teachings are kind of unclear whether she's actually a god, or a spirit that became a god, or just a spirit pretending to be a god. It's kind of weird.
Do we accept whatever they may ask in return? They may ask for something in return.
If there is something to pay, then I'll pay it.
I'm not going to let you pay anything alone.
It's sort of my job.
It doesn't matter. This isn't just about a single person here, this is about everything. Guess let me try and see where this gets us. Okay, can you say that god's name again, just because my brain is doing the thing where it's not holding names at all, and I need to at least get that written down into my notes.
I will type them here. It's Anoe and Grilva.
And the one that is the one tied to spirits is...
Anoe.
Anoe. So I'm just gonna add that to other in my notes. Right, well, I've never really prayed before, so wish me luck, I guess.
Good luck.
Man,
Kind of
I am
squeezes your
gonna-
hand.
just leaning against the wall like this. He's gonna awkwardly put his hands together and just be like in a praying position, just be like, okay. And he's gonna pray to Anoe for either just information or help or guidance, something that will help us in this whole situation, and will also kind of make the point of, I guess, just sort of like being like, you know, we don't want this whole thing to end in disaster, that if the Veracity wins, then the likelihood is that there'll be nobody left to continue to worship the other gods, and the destruction of all this life seems senseless.
Slay. I will let you choose whether you want to roll nature or survival. There will be different results depending on what you choose.
I'm gonna go with nature because I'm better at that. That is a 21.
21, slay. Briefly for everyone else before I return to Thane. The wind kind of picks up. That's all. So Thane. With that, you feel the wind sort of pick up briefly, stirs your hair. You can feel it like creep along your neck. Just a very brisk breeze. There's no great feeling of, oh my gosh, there's holy light. A god is here. There's great power. There's nothing like that. Nothing like even what you've felt coming off of Cousin Root. And there's perhaps this moment of disappointment of, yeah, fucking, of course that didn't work. I'm not the religious sort. And then you hear a woman's voice say, "What?" Do you open your eyes?
Well, I have no idea if this person's studying. Where did that voice come from? Did it come from in front of me, or is this just kind of like an ethereal, just sort of all around me kind of vibe?
You were leaning against the side of the tower.
Yeah.
It sounds like it came from off the edge of this tower, as in out in the air.
I will crack an eye open and look in that general direction ever so timidly.
The tower now seems closely surrounded by clouds. Corinto, out of the corner of your eye, is there, but almost seems to have fallen completely still and unmoving. And among the clouds, you see brief flickers occasionally of feathers, of massive wings as they circle the tower. And again, this kind of rough, disgruntled woman's voice comes to you and says, "And?"
His eyes go very wide. He goes, "Oh shit!" Because he didn't expect this to work at all. He's gonna kind of like immediately like go, "Thank you for answering me."
Yeah, cut that off. What do you want, mortal?
Yeah. So things are about to go to deep shit, and we're aware that that device has been pulling power from a god. He feels very hesitant to use the word god in all this, considering what he's just been told. And we hesitate to ask that we need just a bit more in this instance for us to be able to remember, so that we can stop this city falling and the spirits within it from being destroyed or engulfed by the veracity, including Root, who protects this city?
There is a moment where just wind is the only reply, and then you feel the ground briefly shudder and can see down the side of the tower as a massive taloned claw wraps around the tower. And through the clouds ahead of you, you can briefly see a massive crested head of some sort of gray, feathered creature that stares at you with pale green eyes, and says, "And tell me, mortal, why should I care about your puny affairs?"
He kind of takes a breath and kind of like steals himself slightly as he looks at her. I honestly don't expect you to, but there are those like myself who protect nature and its spirits, and it's not just mortal kind that is in danger here. It is all that you love and create is also in danger. I could go on about how if mortals are wiped off the face of the earth, there'll be nothing left to worship the pantheon, and some may care, some may not. And he kind of shrugs slightly. Mortals do great and terrible things. And he kind of gesture out to the army that's like approaching the city. But I've seen the good that mortals can do, and I can see the good that we do when we work with the spirits, when we protect them, when we help them, when we work with them. We protected Root, and she is a powerful spirit who sees the good in mortals. She protects this city. Surely that should say something.
Go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage.
I can never read this die because it's got what? Persuasion, that is an 18 with advantage.
Oh yeah. The eyes are staring you down, and it is the distinct feeling of holding still and meeting the gaze of a predator and trying to decide who moves first. As Anoe speaks once more. I desire no worship, no respect, no love from mortals. I need none of it. And yet, you hold the friendship of some of my brethren, so I guess that's fucking worth something.
This is Quinn laughing, not Thane. Thane is terrified, but he's doing his level best to not appear like he's terrified.
My domain is of little use to you, Archer. Call my wives to your side and maybe we'll talk again. And you get the distinct feeling of somebody very smug and like a bird preening their feathers, very, very proud of their sass. And the clouds clear, and Tornto is moving once more. He kind of shifts and notices your eyes are open again. He says, "So, anything? I don't really know."
Oh, shit. He just kind of goes, "Oh, shit," and he just sort of like falls to his knees for a minute, and he just is shaking from head to toe. He's like, "That's terrifying. Oh my god." Gods are terrifying. Okay, Well, her response was, we mortals are something that her brethren care about. Call her wives, and then we'll talk again then. Were her answers, so I guess we have to call on the others.
Right. That's lovely. I had heard she was, let's go with ill-tempered, other than any other words.
I will admit that I thought she was going to eat me at one point, so,
Well, I can certainly try to call on Sahaneth, but, how would we call for Brilva? I mean,
I know that from just observing Brutus, do I know if Brutus has any of the symbolism of the goddess on him?
let's say, yeah, Tito, as far as you were aware, Thane kind of like muttered under his breath for a little bit, something about prayer. You don't know what that is, Tito, probably not important. Some dumb mortal thing. And then all of a sudden Thane was all freaked out. But, Thane, I will say, you've glimpsed Brutus's tattoos a couple times. I don't think you've necessarily been close enough or seen them long enough to have studied them. You know that, like Brutus was saying, he has the mark of both Neris and Angarda on one of his arms. According to what, Corinto said, Grilva is a goddess of, all forms of love. You also vaguely, distantly know she's considered a goddess of fire. It's up to you whether you think, Brutus would be a good fit to yell at a goddess of love.
I mean, Thane doesn't think any of us are fit to yell at a goddess of love, but he is going to go, he's going to just kind of step back over to the others a moment and look at Brutus and be like, Brutus, goddess of love, you got a connection to her?
Brutus looks at Thane like, no, weird. I mean,
Yes or no?
I need so much. Like, specify so much more. Like, say more words.
No, just yes or no.
No, yes, I guess.
Okay, come here, please.
Okay. I'll follow Thane over to Torto.
I will explain what Tonto explained to me, and also the express point that it cannot be shared. And then basically that I have managed to get into contact with Anoe, and that wow, there's too many names and my brain is so not functioning right now. But basically we need him to help us complete the triad of summoning the three goddesses.
Halfway through your explanation, Brutus is just like gently banging his head against the side of the tower, just going, I'm locksmith, I'm a locksmith. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so, bad news first, direct connection, no. Good news, I do have a line to the Brute Mother, and possession is kind of a form of love, and frankly I love my mom unreasonably amounts, and I'm terrified, and frankly if that's not enough, then
I
fuck her.
have no connection whatsoever directly to Anoe, and she still answered me. So I think we just gotta try a little on faith here.
Oh, great! That's gonna go real well for me. Do we have? Do we know names? Do we know anything other than Grilva? Or is that all we have to go on?
You can roll a religion check if you want, Brutus.
And I'm automatically giving Brutus disadvantage on all religion checks because
not for Grilva.
He would not know these things.
Not for Grilva. You can.
Oh, not for Grilva. Okay. That's a 17 on the die, and I have no. So 17.
Slay. You're thinking, vaguely. I mean, like Thane is saying, goddess of love, goddess of family. It's also like a goddess of fire, often used to like protect a hearth. And vaguely that her symbol is like either a jeweled heart or just like a pretty heart, sometimes just done in like a mosaic. And your mom has such a mosaic heart hanging above the fireplace. Grilva is the patron goddess of families, is often asked to protect the familiar home, to bless marriages, to bless a child when they're born to a family. So while you don't personally have a connection to Grilva, and you know that your family isn't necessarily like specifically following Grilva, the thought could certainly be like, I have a family. Let's try.
Alright, cool. So Bruce kind of goes, okay, so you're doing Anaway, Tornto got Sahanis. Okay, cool, so no pressure. Cool. Turns around, takes a knee, closes his eyes, and says, Mother of the Hearth, Spirit of Fire, Brutus Four-Leaf, Son of Volca Ironback, invokes your name in hope that you will guide us to a brighter future. And wait.
I'll go ahead and let's say you can either roll with investigation or persuasion.
We are gonna go for investigation because I actually have a modifier for that one.
That's so crazy.
Oh, thank fuck, because that is a 5. So plus 6, I got an 11 investigation.
Slay. You have this moment. You're very formal, very proper. Try to pull on what you think might be the right things to do. And you get this flicker of a feeling, a memory, trying something for the first time, and either your mother or your father would put a hand to the middle of your back as they, congratulated you or guided you slightly or something. Just this gesture of parental affection and guidance. And you get that feeling in this moment. But the hand is very warm, like one might expect from a goddess of fire. And you sense somebody kneeling down next to you, who just seems to like emanate this comfortable heat.
Raises his head, opens his eyes.
There is a woman kneeling next to you, and when your eyes are narrowed, you see a red-headed woman who just kind of looks like an everyday person with a gentle smile. But when your eyes are opened more fully, she is a being of flame, of coal, of warmth. It does not burn, but it is that intensity of fire when you're sitting just too close to a campfire, but not enough to be hurt. And she gives you this gentle smile and says, "Well, you don't need to be so formal with me, sweetie. We've been waiting."
Still getting... yeah, that doesn't... Getting used to the whole god thing. Cool, So, hey, city's burning down, needed help, and to make that not be happening, and I guess your other wife was making a big deal about getting her girls together before she'd help us, so hi, doing that.
I'll tell you this much. We cannot act in this matter until we are asked to do as such, and until a certain requirement is fulfilled. But we have been waiting. We aren't allowed to step in and do it on our own, if that makes sense. We have to wait. So I'm so proud of you for reaching out. She kind of like gives your back a little, again, very very parental. Like if this wasn't a goddess, it would probably feel a little bit demeaning since you're a full ass adult. But this is kind of like the parent personified, so it feels a little less demeaning for that reason. I am here to help. If you reach for me, you will find me. Brutus Fourleaf, you have much love in your heart. And you will always have a place in my heart. You and your family.
Okay, can I get a little bit more to go on? I don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, I really do. I'm not a poetry guy, I work with gears and cogs for a living, that's how my mind works. Can I get a little bit more to go on than that, please?
For us to act in the manner that you and your friends need, we need to be asked in a specific manner. Not just a request. It needs to be from the heart. It needs to be passionate. And it needs to be made with full knowledge of what you are promising. It needs to be a promise. It does not have to be a promise of servitude or worship or anything in that manner. But it has to be something that all of you can fully promise and believe in with everything you are. It would be a little silly for that promise to be something like, I swear every day that I will have coffee. It needs to be something with a little bit more oomph than that.
Something with teeth. Great, getting a lot of practice with that.
Oh, and do me a favor, dear. Could you apologize to your friend Thane for, my wife? She's rather intense.
Feisty?
Yes. It's how she shows love.
Yeah, I look after street kids, I know how that goes.
You do.
Okay, cool.
Protection runs in your blood, after all.
The blood? That seems specific.
Well, I should get going.
Yeah, I should have seen that one coming.
You're doing good. She kind of gives a squeeze to your shoulder, and the fire is put out and disappears with a puff of smoke.
And Brutus is realizing he did not get specific enough about what his friends entails. So he turns to Thane and Tornto, who I assume saw none of that,
Mm-hmm.
and loops them in on that conversation. And kind of just goes, so we're already kind of like, Tornto, I hate to make presumptions, but based on what I've seen of Thane, and knowing what I do, I'm assuming all three of us are already kind of sworn protectors of some sort or another.
Say again?
Oh, great.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. My headphones have been screwy for days. So Brutus just kind of looks at Tornto and goes, I hate to make assumptions, but I'm assuming all three of us are already kind of sworn protectors of some sort, presumably?
Torto kind of glances at Thane and slowly nods. I certainly am, and I know Thane is to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't think of anything else I could really put, like, full force emotion down to the bone into. But also we're promising this to three goddesses, and that's concerning.
I did have a brief connection with Sahana. It sounds like it is of a similar nature, though she was much more obtuse with me and specified that such a thing would not need to come from me. It would need to come from those committing the act. She said something about a circle, about crossed hands, but she's very obtuse, prophecies and such.
So, us as a group need to make them some kind of promise in exchange for their help?
Yes, though I was sort of led to believe that it didn't have to be like a promise about them, as long as it was a promise that was strongly believed in.
I mean, I think the biggest thing that we're all looking for right now is to be able to protect and save the city. Is that a big enough promise?
It's a place to start.
I guess this is the point where we leave everybody else in, I guess.
Quick qualifier, how much do we want to tell them?
Probably shouldn't mention the whole thing being married.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm forbidden to mention it, but you two certainly aren't, so I will leave that decision in your court.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get you in trouble by proxy.
Yeah, you told me in confidence, and I told Brutus just to kind of get us on this path. I don't think it's... How we got to the answer is probably not important, just that we have the answer.
Okay, cool. You know what? I'm gonna let you tell them the things because I am sitting on too many damn secrets already. So, lead the way.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna let Brutus kind of start heading back to the others first, and then I'm gonna look at Tonto, and there's just this moment where, like, Thane kind of looks up at him slightly, and okay, this could all go to shit. This could all go horrifically wrong. We could all die. This just could not work. And this is probably terrible timing, but fuck it. And I'm gonna grab Tonto by the front of his, like, clothes and pull him down and kiss him.
Woo!
Brutus, the only one with his back turned, the rest of the party is going, what?
I let Brutus go away from the group for a bit, like, this is... They're trying to do this just a Thane and Tonto moment. Kiss him and just be like... And then when I break the kiss, I'll just be like, just in case you die, If we don't, great. If we do, at least I'll have no regrets, I guess. Okay, let's go. And he's in a very flustered manner. Like he's gonna go back towards the group unless Tonto says something.
Toronto was sort of like still and did not immediately react, but as Thane is like nervously saying this and beginning to step away, Toronto moves in that oddly insightful way he has for a person without sight, and catches your hand midair, kind of pulling you back to him. You're so... I don't even know Lyric that well. And yet she has told me that every single time you do this. And apparently every single time I always do this. And he pulls you back in for a kiss.
I'm not going to squeeze down the microphone because I'll hurt everybody's ears.
Wait, Charlie, what the fuck? Why is Charlie playing a game on Steam?
Tara's just dissociating.
This is serious D&D, you bastard. Focus us.
Sometimes you need something to keep the ADHD at bay.
Yeah.
No, I know. I saw Chaley is now playing Schedule 1, and I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, I still had that cash game going on in the background this entire time because I also need something to keep the ADHD at bay.
No, completely fair. I just haven't got notifications for anyone else doing their ADHD. So, sorry for adding you on name there, Charlie.
Yeah. They will absolutely kiss him back, all happy like, and try not to grin like an idiot as we head back to the rest of the group.
Yeah. And Brutus gets back and is just like, okay, so Thane has a plan, turns around over his shoulder and goes, Thane has a plan and is probably doing something. No, he had a head start. He had a head start. There's no way Thane is right behind me.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that there is a Thane that you like turn around, Thane will not be there.
Yeah, Bruce goes, Thane has a plan. Okay, so Thane has a plan, but I think he's fucking Toronto really quick, so it might be a minute.
No, it's not like we've got a city to save or anything. Staring at my wall. From the top of Thane's shoulder.
From Thane's shoulder to top of Thane's head now to be out of the way.
And I will say, it is mildly ironic that Ivana says this, because as the rest of you were having a mild argument about Lyric, discussing different things to do, Lyric explaining different tactics she's tried in past loops, Lyric seemed to flag summon energy, and eventually was just leaning her head kind of deliriously on Ivana's shoulder. So it's very ironic that Ivana says this with their something leaning against them.
Nemesis with Nemesis.
It's totally different, guys. While I'm like, Ivana has like a shoulder around her, like trying to help her keep like propped up, basically.
But yeah, he'll Thane will come back and absolutely kind of just got like just a couple of things linked with Tauntos. And all thinking of him is like when Taunto was like, yeah, Lyric says that you do this every time. Thane's like, at least I'm consistent, I guess.
Lyric's watching it in disgust and like, my god, you bitches are predictable.
best episode for Grim to not be here.
Okay, so we need to kind of have a little group prayer session.
So you've come up with a plan.
We pray.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta do a little group prayer session. I wish I was joking.
Ivana definitely just raises their eyebrows and just stares at you.
We need
A
to
prayer circle.
basically with a promise that comes from our heart. That it doesn't have to be a promise of worship or a promise of anything. It just has to be honest. And I think we all want to protect this city and protect the people and the spirits within it. I hope that if we ask Anoe. God damn, I need all three. Someone please write all three names down because I need to put them all in my notes. Sorry, it's too many names and I'm so tired.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So God is the one I do remember only because of
Phineas.
Phineas, yeah. All these other gods cropping up, I'm like, it's not in my notes, I'm not gonna remember.
To be fair, it is a 34 god deep pantheon, Doc.
No comment. No comment.
So we need to basically pray to Anoe, Grilba, and Sahanis and ask them to help us, to give us the strength, the power needed to overcome the situation, whether that's in sending us all back in time again with our memories, or giving us some way to defeat this enemy so that we can protect this city and everything within it. And that, I guess we promise that their help will not be in vain, for we will continue to protect this city once their help has been given. There has to be some kind of promise.
Yeah, but how are the gods going to take this promise? If we promise to keep this city, to protect this city, and once we leave something happens to it, what happens then? Because with the gods, there's always a price.
Lyric
They haven't
kind
given us the price, they've only given us the ass.
Lyric kind of shifts against your shoulder, Vaughn, and says in a very tired voice, if it needs to be something big, but you'd rather it not be tied to a specific city. I assume none of you like the Empire, right?
Well,
no.
to bring down the Empire? Is that what you're suggesting?
Or at least battle against it. Try to stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we're already putting our energy against, well, currently the Veracity, which is technically the Empire. So if we promise to fight it for as long as we can, which is what we're already doing, then really it's not... It's a promise we're already fulfilling. We're just making it a promise.
Yeah.
And as much as the god shit is dubious at times, if this is what they're saying, it's what we need to do.
Yeah, Griver apparently gave us some more clarification. I wasn't going to ask her for clarification. She's terrifying. But yeah, I think we gotta do the holding hands and make the promise and ask for their help.
Sorry. I'm trying not to out loud have Brutus make a joke about, well, I guess Ivana would be holding hands, technically, but...
Shut it.
Did that take you a second there, Chloe?
Yes, and actually I don't know if I 100% get it.
Because Ivana technically only has the one hand.
Yes.
Okay, so... Yeah, it's... Does anyone have a better plan, is what it comes down to at this point? Because if we don't, then we're just bitching and whining about the only option we have, which we can do after we're not, at risk of being plague murdered.
I mean, there are no other plans. This is what we need to do. We need divine energy. This gets us that.
Yeah, so rules lawyer and all you want, but let's just start over with our thing.
Or we're making a promise that, at least worded correctly, doesn't put us in a shit position if we can't technically fulfill it.
I would also like to point out that this is, again, maybe getting a bit rules lawyery with it. She didn't, and also Wilder, please correct me before I go into this, but she didn't necessarily say that all of us had to be making the same promise, did she?
She did not.
Okay. She didn't actually specify that all of us had to be promising the same thing, just that it had to mean something to each of us. So, I know what I'm promising to do. I don't know about the rest of you, but if you need to swear yourself to something else, then by all means do so.
What's fucking dying? It's choking water.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
One just having an aneurysm.
Someone was having a coughing fit.
Lyric does look a bit unsure about all of this, but kind of straightens up off of Ivana's shoulder to say, alright, even aside from this, after the loop happens, you all need to know what you are going to be doing. If we want to stop this plague bringer person and the process that they are doing, and then presumably you need to get to them before it begins. And since they show up with the army, I'm worried that might mean you have to go perhaps behind enemy lines.
Which means we're not in the loop.
It would mean that you would be exiting the city. Which would mean if I did another loop, you would all not be present.
Do or die. Great.
We would not get another chance.
Well, really, we've had 7 chances. So this one.
Try a higher number.
Oh, great.
Well, at some point we were going to run out of chances, so we're going to make
We
it
may
count.
well. Mm-hmm. And if we haven't left the loop before, then that's obviously something we need to do. We need to exhaust that option. Since we keep having to resetting, it doesn't feel like there's any other way.
That is your choice.
Brutus stops for a second, looks at Lyric, cocks his head. Quick question. Does the name Thorn mean anything to you?
Not really, no.
Hmm.
We'll glance up at Tito as he says this. Tonto as he says this too. Tito and Tonto, oh my god. Look at glance at Tito as Brutus says this.
So in the other Sunday game we have B and Billy.
Yeah. So to be clear, are you looking at Tito or are you looking at Tornto?
Tonto. I will glance to Tonto as Brutus says this.
His eyes flicker to the big dog laying in the corner, but he doesn't say anything.
Well, when did Thorn catch up to us? Because she was still running around the city last I heard. Last I recall it.
If
No, I thought she got up to us when we got to the thing.
Okay, cool.
I believe she had met up with you guys at the tower, yeah.
Okay, so Thorn is still downstairs? Because I think we had to climb a rope to get up here.
No, she's here.
What do you mean she's here?
She's here.
Brutus is gonna ping Thorn like, how the fuck did you get up here?
She opens one eye to look at you. You get the mental impression of a shrug, and then she closes her eyes.
I can't tell if that's Thorn being an asshole or Wilder just going, and wait a minute.
The first. The first.
You're a bastard, I dick. Oh, okay. So prayer circle time, or does everyone need to think about heart's power or whatever the hell you're putting? How are we doing this? Is also another question. Like, are we genuinely about to just do a stupid prayer circle? Think really hard?
Xanath had said something about crossed hands and a circle, but I don't know if that was literal or metaphorical.
With gods, you can very need to, so if I say we treat it as literally, but if it is metaphorical.
I mean, hey, if no one has a better idea. Grin his T-pose through the wall.
Hands in the middle, promises made. Kind of remind me of a comic I once read.
Right.
That, you know, it's about a bunch of rangers. They're all really bright colors.
Oh my gosh.
Hang on, we already put Jesus Christ into this universe. We're not doing Power
No,
Rangers.
too late. They're canon.
Too late.
They're canon.
Quinn, you cannot keep getting away with it, man.
Before we all get into our little kumbaya circle, I'm gonna look at Tonto, like my hand on the rest of his chest slightly, and like he's gonna take a slight breath. If we succeed, but for whatever reason I don't make it out of there, you'll look after her, right?
You know I will.
Thank you.
Toronto doesn't join the circle, but he does kind of like move to be right behind you, Thane, and just kind of keeps a hand on your shoulder.
Is Lyric in the circle?
No. She is
Oh boy.
she is staying against the wall, and she has pulled this leather case to sit in her lap, and is seemingly just waiting with kind of a faraway look in her eye.
Okay, so we got 2 people not in the circle, and the third one wall. Joy.
It's like it has to be the party or something. That's so crazy.
Oh my god, it's almost like you planned this!
Wow. All right. So then, I will either ask if you are all trying to make the same promise. I will ask for a group check. But if you guys are making individual promises, or some of you are making individual promises, then I am going to ask each of you what said promise is, and then ask you to make a relevant check.
I would also like to clarify before we go to this. Is this something we have to do out loud, or are we doing this in our head? Because I feel like that might change some people's minds, depending.
It is in your character's head, but you, the player, need to say it out loud.
Okay, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would imagine we're all gonna have to make a check, because there's no way for promise, for example. It's certainly not grim.
I'll have to add
more.
Karis is also going to make an individual promise.
Slay. Then I will ask now, who volunteers to go first?
Do we have to say them out loud?
The player does, yes.
First.
Expose yourself. Expose yourself.
About it.
Karis will promise to not use magic that he doesn't know the true cost of.
How passionate do you believe Karis is about this?
Right at this very moment, Barry.
Then I
Because
will.
he's gone through some shit over the past couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Then
I would say the past 12 hours.
Yes. I will say, give me a flat wisdom check. Do not say it out loud, just put it in the chat.
I also realised I have a point of exhaustion, so should I be rolling this with disadvantage?
This I'll let you roll flat. Slay. Who's going next?
Annoyingly, I didn't hear Charlie's because I was talking. I was trying to help Kaz with the promises.
Karis promised to not use magic that he doesn't know the true cost of.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Who's next? I'm pointing a gun.
Wait, I just want to write it down, so I want to make sure I get the wording right. I don't want no fuckery to come back later.
What do you mean you don't want fuckery?
You're playing D&D. This is the fuckery game.
Oh, yeah. And I know with my husband's very good English, he'll be able to figure out how to go against it.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's gonna do it anyway.
I know.
Okay.
I'm being a dick.
So I rolled the dice to decide who I was gonna make go next. So Connor, go.
Why is it always me? God damn it!
I rolled a d4 because there were 4 people left, and I got a 4. So go.
It's always me. Anyway.
First.
I always end up having to go first because everyone else kind of sits there staring.
You
So I was
didn't go
letting
first?
everyone else go. But no, even the dice are like, no, Connor, you gotta go first.
You didn't go first.
Okay. No, but yeah, but that's because Cars had an easy one. I think Brutus's promise is, I don't know that Brutus can make just the one right now because he doesn't know where he wants to focus. Is the problem.
For the purpose of this, it does need to be one specific promise.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the problem is he doesn't know what he wants to cling to. Because he's got a mystery on the one hand and a war on the other one, and he doesn't know which one of those is pulling at him harder, or how intertwined they may be. So I think Brutus is... Actually, you know what? Fuck it. It's D&D. We're gonna roll the dice. Whether odd or even?
Odd.
Okay, it was even. So, Brutus is going to swear himself to discovering the history and responsibilities of the Post of the Weary Knight.
Slay. Then I will say, go ahead and give me a flat wisdom check.
Wisdom. Fuck off. I kind of want to save that roll. I don't feel like that's a good place for a nat 20, but sure.
Heyo.
So, 21.
Slay. Alright. Now, unless somebody volunteers to go next, I'm gonna roll.
You should let Connor pick who goes next.
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
fine.
I was gonna say Chloe's working on some phrasing over there, so why don't we make them go next?
Yeah. Chloe. You're muted.
I know I'm muted, you dick. Okay. Okay, it's a long one. Apologies.
It's not a rule where you're
And I will send it to you as well, my love.
Okay.
I promise to fight against the Empire, the veracity, and its morals for Beryl and the promise Beryl and Ivana made to each other. Death may pull us apart, but we will always be together.
Go ahead and roll with advantage on charisma. There's something specific.
You say charisma?
Yes.
$21.
Slay. Alright. What?
Quinn or Kaz?
I was responding to a question. Quinn or Kaz, decide now who's going next.
Ah.
I mean, I got to pick on Chloe, so I think Chloe should get to pick who goes next.
Sure, Chloe. Who are you bullying?
I'm not bully Kaz because they're right in front of me.
Oh, fuck you.
You wish!
I don't know how to work a little bit.
I mean, Tito's just a little guy. He's all heart, one would say.
Yeah, I have the general gist of it, but I don't know how to word it, and I'm bad at words and don't want it to bite me in the ass later.
That's right. How about
Again, this is the bites you in the ass game.
How about this? Tito might not be the most versed with words, but he has heart. So this promise is not just about the words you use, but also what your heart believes about them. So I won't bully Tito too much, maybe.
Pretty please. What's the general vibe of the thing we're going to fight right now? What's like one or two words? Because that's a bit of a struggle with.
Empire, isn't it? It's the Empire's invasion.
Yeah, and the plague.
Yeah, the plague.
Okay.
Sickness.
Yeah. Let's do that. Cool. So, I promise to help my new friends to fight the Empire and the sickness so that I can search for the nice lady.
Go off. And I assume that in Tito's mind, who the nice lady he's thinking of is who you just asked me about.
Yes.
Slay. Alrighty. Let's say charisma for you as well.
Okie dokie. That I think I'm doing good. Alright, that is a 13.
Hell yeah. Alright. Quinn, you cannot escape.
There is a point where Thane is wrestling with himself, I think, in this. And he knows that he could just promise to take on the Empire and the veracity, and he would absolutely do that, but he feels like it's not enough. He knows that there needs to be more from his heart than just that. And he kind of feels he needs to, within that promise, give up something from himself. And he takes a moment to promise that regardless of his own selfish wants, of his family's perceptions and wavering morals at times, he will always focus and put first the safety and the well-being of the spirits he comes across, and promises to spend his life protecting the spirits of this world as he has been trained and will continue to do going forward.
Slay.
Even though what he really wants to do is become a gardener and forget about this life, but
Slay. Then go ahead. Should I be mean or should I be nice?
Yes.
Quinn has very good luck. But fuck it.
Yeah, but also Chris is my worst stat, so...
No, I know. Let's go ahead and say, give me a flat intelligence check. Mix it up a little. Everyone else is getting charisma and wisdom.
I can do math. 17.
Slay. 17. Write that down, and then calculator. Because there was a group amount you guys had to pick. I was nice and did bump it down slightly since Grim isn't here. Alright. Wahoo! You guys beat it by, with the bump down amount, you beat it by 20. Roughly 20, give or take. So, wahoo! As you all, have this moment in the circle, thinking very hard about your promises, thinking about what this promise is supposed to do, still confused a bit on if this promise is something that's like some sort of payment, or if you're going to be punished for it, or if the wording is going to somehow come back to bite you. In this tower, those who were outside of the tower might see the top of it begin to glow, this bright light beginning to pour forth, the way the wind picks up around it, the way the air rises in temperature. But for those of you inside, it is calm. It is safe. And in the center of your little circle, there is a swirling of color. Multicolored lights dancing together, glittering of glass and tinkling like metal tapping together. And when a voice comes, it is 3 layered into 1. As Angarda speaks to all of you for the first time. There we go.
Very good.
Real. As they say, we have always favored those who give oaths and hold truth. For the strength of your passions is what pulls us together. Oaths hold power. They hold strength. And as long as you all believe in these with everything you have, then we might be able to lend some assistance. And each of you see a brief flicker in the color. Kars, you see a flicker of a familiar face. One you have not seen or thought of in a very long time. One you might have thrown aside for the sake of accepting a power that you did not know the cost of. But you know that cost now, and you have stepped away from it. And the face watches you, not with hate or anger, but simple acceptance of this oath you have sworn. Athane, it is less of a specific person that you see accepting your promise. You see 1,000 flickers, some part of you recognizing various fellow hunters you've seen and met over the ages, both met yourself and learned about in history. but the face that settles most of all to accept your promise is not a face you know. It is a woman with long hair that shifts between colors, a wide-brimmed hat, and she smiles at you and gives you a nod as if accepting this oath you have sworn, and you have the sensation of you are swearing to protect something she holds dear, and thus she is the symbol of it. Tito, you see, in much a similar way, faces you have not seen in a very long time. Your friends, your brethren, those who are like you, who you, albeit unintentionally, left behind. They hear your promise, and they tinkle their bells and jingle their metal and shuffle their cloth in agreement with your promise, as they also promise to look for you, and maybe also look for the nice lady. Brutus, you make this promise, and you see, much in a similar way to others, you see a flicker of faces that you recognize that have similar motivations that you do. Those you have met that fight against the Empire in big ways, from soldiers to everyday people such as your parents to your very own aunt. And the face it settles on is one you have seen from time to time. Not often, but enough to know who it is at a glance. A weary-looking woman with darker skin, long, thick, dark hair, and curling horns, who looks exceptionally tired, and yet still rewards you with a small nod, accepting this oath you have made. And last of all, Ivana does a little dance. Ivana, you make this promise, and it rings true in a way that feels oddly powerful to you. And as these three voices are layered together, accepting this promise, you, Ivana, might not understand why, but I think you, the player, understand why. As this partnership, this threefold, this almost seemingly manifestation of their own promise to each other, taken form so strong as to become a god itself. A promise taken form. And you promised to someone specific. Someone you had a relationship with, very similar in nature. And for the first time in many years, you look upon the face of Beryl. She looks tired in a way that you never quite saw her, because you never did see her towards the end. She is tired, she is worn, she is wearing armor, and yet still she takes your promise. Her smile is sad, but she knows that you're following after her. And as this power seems to coalesce and sweep over all of you and settle into this new weight across each of your shoulders, we're going to take a brief little break there so people can get drinks and go to the restroom. Such as myself. Uh,
I need to pee.
real.
Desperately.
BRB?
Alright, who else is back?
Hi, Connor.
Hello.
I've made myself a packed lunch for work tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
I started doing it as as Walter was going through the visions of everyone, and as soon as I heard the coach, I just started freaking out. And Cass was like, what's going on? I was like, I think I know who that is.
Yep. And mine was like, I knew what I was getting before he even got there. I was like, this is obvious. There's only one person this can possibly be.
Yep.
No, you asked me if it was someone else first. It would have been funny if it was that person.
Did Connor, did you message us the same thing?
Yes, I did.
I don't think so. I was like,
My brain heard the coat, and I was like, the coat! And like, I've been listening to a little bit too much Worlds Beyond Number, so the guy in black was kind of on my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's gotta be that one. And then I thought 2 more seconds, like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that one.
it was when I can see it, if you just had like the cloak and then the wide-brimmed hat, then yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My brain locked. Yeah, my brain locked onto the cloak and the wide-brimmed hat and just went, I know who that is. And then the rest of the sentence flowed in. Now I
know who it is.
Brutus's person was originally going to be somebody else entirely, but then you specified, and I was like, okay, no, it's got to be Thorn. So I guess Brutus just has to live in mystery, knowing who else it could have been. Well, rather, Connor has to live in mystery.
I mean, I'm sure you'll tell me in like 5 years. When we get to the point where it's no longer impacting the story.
Totally.
Out of curiosity, was the lady that Thane saw, was that the lady that raised Thornto? Because I'm vaguely... This is Quinn vaguely remembering. Thane remember, but Quinn is grasping at water. That there was that conversation with Thornto when he was speaking about a spirit that protected and raised other spirits, and there was like a whole thing.
A caretaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto has told you about such a person.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They were just asking what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
They're there.
But as
they have time, which they might not.
Yeah. As the promise settles in this moment...
Charlie isn't back yet.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, he is.
But you were sitting down and putting your headphones on and sorting your snack out.
I had assumed as much, rather, and that is very, very, very rude.
Come on, Mother, let the man get his snack sorted.
What can I say? No snacks allowed. I'm the only snack that's needed. But as this promise settles over each of you, and there's distant yells almost of people down below going, "What was that? What was it? Is it that vampire? Go check it out!" Oops. But something that all of you will probably need to make note of, all of you as in the players, is each of you now have what we're going to call a chance point, where if something has gone horrifically, terribly wrong, and you want to change it in some manner, by requesting help from the God of Time, you can use that point to rewrite what happened. You will only get this once in the entire campaign. So once you use it, is gone.
No pressure.
No pressure. I debated between just doing 1 point for the entire party, as in you'd all have to agree when to use it, but I felt that was a little bit mean.
I was just about to ask that clarification.
No,
You are the DM, you're allowed to be a little bit mean.
I know, but you guys are your characters already argue sometimes, so I'll be nice in that respect.
Sometimes.
And as you all are sort of shaken from this moment and kind of come back to awareness, as the light dies down, burned into the floor of the tower is the rough shape of the simple Engarda, which is a triangle with 3 interlocking circles. And inside of the circles, there seems to be... the stone is almost burnt in odd colors, kind of like stained glass-ish.
It's crazy.
Yeah. As you come to awareness, let's see, who would be across from the circle? Let's say, Garis, you're across from the circle from this, so you see that behind Ivana, where Lyric had been leaning against the wall with presumably the device, kind of waiting to see what would happen. Lyric is still holding the device, which is kind of seems to be glowing a bit, and Lyric is kind of holding it and looking very nervous. You know, like one might if they're holding something very dangerous and powerful and magical. Glances at each of you guys. So does that mean it worked? All I saw was a bunch of light and color.
I mean, we're not dead. But I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think there's only one real way of knowing whether it worked.
Alright. Then, no use in waiting, man. I'll start the loop shortly, and hopefully this means that all of you will have your memories still. Or maybe they just powered the device up, or... I don't know. It might be about the device, it might be specific to all of you. I guess we'll find out. Are all of you ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Ready as I'll ever be.
I'm gonna spin around and kiss Tonto again, and then tell her I'm ready.
He gives kissy. Though he does stay, like, holding your hand, as you tell Lyric you're ready. She kind of, go ahead.
Rick?
Yes?
Stay alive.
I always have. We won't get another chance. All of you need to stay alive, or I can't get any of you back. Ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
She quietly inputs whatever the code is to undo the lock. You know, kind of like a briefcase lock.
Is it 0000?
You can't see, so you don't know for sure, but maybe you can test later. Just for that, it's 666.
I thought it'd be 6969.
40 zeros was one option.
Yeah. But she pops it open. And inside, it looks like both ends of this briefcase, once popped open, are filled with extremely tight and small machinery. A lot of it fit into such a small space. And once it has fully opened, it begins to click and churn, these tiny gears and wires moving and lighting and activating, and spirals of light begin to come out. These pale gray spell circles that begin to form with runes and writing and text. You are not close, and Lyric would not let you get close. She'll fucking cut you, bitch.
Ivana also would let you get close.
And as these spirals of light begin to form in the air, forming into what you would classically think of spell circles that begin to spiral around Lyric, she kind of takes a deep breath and places her palm in the center, the seam of the two sides of the briefcase. Thane, you can hear behind you the sound of this spell magic is beginning to build to a dull roar, and as it gets louder, Thane, behind you, you hear Torto kind of try to shout over it to Lyric. How many more do you think you've got left? Lyric is focused on the magic and just kind of glances up for a second and gives this kind of rueful smile and briefly looks at you, Ivana. This is the last chance. And as the world explodes into light and sound, for the first time, now that you each are able to keep your memory through this process, you are aware of what a horrible sensation it is to be yanked through time in this manner. Your stomachs drop out from under you. It is a yawning deepness. Your nerves are on fire. There is just darkness around you. There's something swirling through the air, cutting at your skin, gritty like the feeling of sand. And you are being forcibly pulled with great speed. Your minds recognize that this is not something natural for you, that as immortal, this is not what you are made for. In this moment, you are experiencing headaches, intense migraine, your stomachs are rolling, your hearts feel like they are going to burst out of your chest. Every part of your body screams in protest. And then there is darkness. And in the darkness, when it finally does fade away, each of you are waking up deep underground with the distant sound of Cousin Thorn pacing in circles.
Cousin Thorn?
Sorry, Cousin Root, fuck me.
Quinn did it earlier too, so I'm blaming him.
It happens. To me.
Too many names.
Real.
I don't do well with names.
D&D moment. I was getting confused earlier reading a certain somebody's backstory, and I was like, Alara, wait, what about Alana over in Remnants? Wait, no, that's a different person. Just getting very confused.
Why do you think I changed JB? Because I was like, I'm not doing this myself.
Real. But you all come to. Cousin Root is shuffling around. Brutus at your side. Thorn is still snoring away.
Question.
Yes.
Are we resetting our, are we resetting to the beginning of a long rest? I only asked because I used my, stuff, so I need to know if I have all that back or not, and my hit points.
Yes, so technically you guys have had a long rest, Though because you guys have rewound to the start of the same day, Ivana and Kara still have that point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Because your bodies are still physically tired.
That makes sense.
You'll
A long roost.
Oh my gosh, Tabitha. What a good girl. But what would you all like to do?
Oh, immediately get up and make sure everybody's. Ask everyone else they remember what happened.
Yeah, Brutus is immediately waking up. Thorn's like, alright, wake up, come on, let's go.
Yeah? She wakes up, kind of gives you a grumble. The rest of you indeed have your memories of the previous day. That's so crazy. I'm not gonna make you guys roleplay forgetting things.
This time.
Hee hee.
I'm then immediately going to go to Root.
Mm-hmm.
And which side of the city were the army advancing on again?
The east side.
Okay.
What's the east side?
I'm gonna go to Root and ask her if she can dig us out of this. Like, we know that she can dig us up to the surface, but is she able to dig us to outside the city walls on the east side?
As you approach, she had begun to say things that were quite familiar to you now. Stuff about how, like, oh, the magic feels odd, something is different, it's not necessarily bad, but something is weird. And in the moment that you were instead asking, like, about the tunneling, where she can go, you have this realization, oh, maybe she was picking up on the time loop. That something was not bad, but was happening. She gives a moment of thought to your question and then slowly nods. Yes, I could dig outside of the city. Though the farther we go, of course, the longer it would take. Do you have a destination in mind?
We just need to be outside the city walls.
Certainly.
Preferably not so close that any guards there might attack us.
This I can do. What were you saying, Chloe?
I was going to say either the closer to the north or south would be better.
I have a spot in mind to the north. I will do as such. Do you all have a plan then?
Not a good one.
The plan is to not die.
I would hope as such. Is there danger of death?
There's a agent of the veracity coming that is about to infect the entire city despite your protections. And will probably also end up infecting you anyway. So, yeah, lots of danger of death. Apparently, we've already died a few times doing this, so hopefully we get this one right.
It's hard to read emotions on a giant badger's face. But you're pretty sure that expression is confusion. For some reason, though, she doesn't question it deeply, just sort of nodding slowly. And of course, I will get started digging immediately. Begins to move towards the wall. Gives you a nod, Thane, and moves towards the wall to begin working on her tunnel.
Worth noting, Brutus has not looped Thorn in on any of this.
Yeah, she's kind of glancing around the party confused, but she knows a number of you have ability to speak in minds, so she's just sort of assuming that a conversation took place that she wasn't part of. She's like, yeah, they must have discussed this, I just wasn't paying attention.
I'm just gonna crouch down in front of Thorn. Long story short, we've been in a time loop for a while. In this one, we have our memories. We are going behind enemy line. It's up to you whether you want to come with us, or whether you want to stay here with while we do this.
She's giving you sort of an incredulous look, and eventually her voice enters your mind, saying, I've never heard of something like that, but I'm not one to question magic. If you say that's what's going on, so be it.
Trust me, I wouldn't believe it either if I hadn't just been through it.
Right. I can't leave you all to go alone. I'll come with.
Okay, as long as you're sure. Said we're going behind enemy lines and it is going to be dangerous.
That's where I work best. Are you going to bring the little one with? Kind of glancing towards your pocket where Tito spent the night, and had been still, much like the past day you guys experienced, is also this day a little bit squished.
Generally, like, pull Tito out of my pocket and, like, give them a little fluff up slightly so that they're not so squished.
I'm squished at technical terms.
Yeah. And I'll ask Tito the same thing, like, you know, Tito obviously has their memories, so I'll be like, you know, you can come with us or you can stay with Brute, like, but, you know, we're not going to make you come with us into a very dangerous situation.
I want to come with.
Very well, you want to keep riding on my shoulder?
Yeah, it's quite comfy.
Very well.
Walk.
Slay. Alright. It takes longer for Root to dig the tunnel this time, as it is quite a bit farther. But eventually...
Probably a lot faster than trying to get through the crowds.
So. Oh, certainly. Very much. It took you guys multiple hours to cross the city before. This is way faster.
Yeah. In this time, can we just chat as a group? Like, obviously in character. Right, so we're going behind the enemy lines. From there, does anyone have any ideas? On how to stop this?
We didn't get a description from Lyric.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, the plague guy.
The plague bearer is what they were calling.
Yeah. Lyric had said she wasn't able to get close enough to see.
So, probably a spellcaster, probably within the vanguard somewhere. Probably ready to move up to the front as necessary, so they can't be too far in. But they need to be far enough back they're not immediately targetable by, say, ballista or something heavier. Just to be safe. So we have to get in there, but we don't have to go far, probably.
I would also appreciate it if at some point one of you could spare some time to teach me the basics of martial combat, just in case anything comes of anything.
I found that it looks a little bit confusingly, like, at Karis, but doesn't say anything.
Brutus looks at Karis just like, do any of us look like fucking soldiers to you?
I don't need soldier if I need the basics. I am not good with a sword.
I I will teach you how to use the sword, don't worry.
Ivana puts their hand up at sword.
I'm trained in pretty much most weapons. I will teach you what I can. In the
Much
time that we have.
Which is multiple hours.
Yeah, but we're going to be spending a lot of that climbing and walking.
You know,
Okay.
walk and talk.
Do you have a weapon on you?
I have a mace, and I have a bow, a crossbow.
Probably.
Does anyone even have mace proficiency?
I've here, and Ivana will pass you their short sword. I don't use this very much, and I have a spell. I have 2 anyway. Take this.
I can teach you how to use that. And I can teach you to better shoot a crossbow.
That would be appreciated.
Slay. About this time, Root returns from digging the tunnel and kind of shuffles out of the way, saying to all of you, "This is the tunnel. It will close up behind all of you, so make sure that, and about now, Thane, you receive a sending. Wow!" You hear Tornto's voice, saying, "Thane, our men inside report something spooked Commodians last evening. Began sudden push to city. Alliance troops thrashed. Empire estimated to reach Shevgard within 24 hours." Which is the exact same sending you got in the last loop.
Okay. We've got 20 words, right?
25.
25.
25? 25? Okay, hang on. I'm going to write this out as I type. I'm going to type this out first, and then... just because I will overcount and I won't think properly.
So we're not going with the Chester situation, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So every single song this session is either from the game Blasphemous or Claire Obscure. So that's the vibe.
Thanks for reminding me that I need to watch the rest of that game, actually.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. So just kind of fire back. We remember the time loop. We're going after the play bearer. Stay safe, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
You poopy?
You pooping?
Huh?
Just a reference.
Oh. We know that I haven't watched. Like I've already watched like not even a quarter of season 2.
We shake hands. I've only ever got like 30 episodes in, and I still have to restart.
I love campaign too.
Campaign 2 is very good. But there is a beat. And then you do get another sending in return, which you hadn't last time. As presumably Tornto was saving his spells. But you get one last sending that just says, "Lyric down. I'm moving up to try and join what's going on." And that's all he says. But you guys begin traveling up the tunnel.
I can respond again.
Yes, you can. I just wasn't sure if you have something in
Oh no! If he's going, I'm going to go and try and help. Spain is like, no, stay with Lyric. Look after her. No, that's Symbol's twin. No, stay with Lyric. Look after her. We will handle this. 21 again.
reply? There is no reply.
I think it's but Thane would feel bad. She's like, no, don't you put yourself in danger. Just wait out day.
Watch Tortoise will be there.
Lyric by herself.
No, it's fine. She's napping.
It's not fine because she's fucking the Archmage that anything can fucking happen to her.
That's why Thane was like, no, you stay with Lyric and look after her.
Yes.
Don't get yourself involved. Don't get yourself in danger's way. Look after the person who's probably bleeding out of every orifice that they have.
But you guys set off down the tunnel. This one is a much gentler incline, as you know, there's a lot more time to stretch it out over. So there are no checks needed. It is dark. It is damp. You can hear the distant sound of the tunnel closing behind you. Not collapsing, just kind of slowly, almost curling in on itself. And you progress. It is a long walk. Are you all walking, doing a brisk walk, or jogging?
I think probably at minimum, Thane would be doing a brisk walk.
Mm-hmm.
I think jogging probably will exert too much energy, but a gentle walk feels too slow.
Yeah, also I would like to note, if everyone's going to break into a jog, Brutus is going to be like, Thorn, I'm sorry, I have short legs, and just hop on her back.
She grumbles loudly, but allows it.
Karis is keeping up as best he can whilst swinging the sword and trying to get used to the balance and everything.
You get some tips from Thane every now and again. He'll like help adjust your grip and.
Slay.
And every now and again, from in front of Karis, Karis would just hear Ivana go, deflect! And throw like a psychic dagger.
Wow.
Alright, then for a brisk walk, the DC is low, but I do need each of you, other than Tito and Brutus, to make a Constitution saving throw, just to see how you're holding up.
And with one exhaustion point that's made with disadvantage, right?
Nope.
No possibility checks.
Oh.
You're not on.
List them, not me.
Thorn got a 16.
Oh, thank you.
22 for Karis.
19.
What was the roll again, sorry?
Constitution
Con
save.
save.
Yeah.
Con save. 12.
Slay. The DC for a brisk walk is low, so you're all relatively okay. Knees hurt a bit because it is an incline, but what can you do? Your butts will be in great shape.
He's like walking and something Thane's very good at with his very thick, thick thighs for days.
Real. And when it comes to Karis doing this kind of a very rapid form of training, Karis, go ahead and give me, let's say an athletics check, and it gets to be flat because you're having assistance from your fellows.
Can it be acrobatics instead?
Fine.
I would argue it's a short sword, so it's a dex weapon. So he has a point there.
Yeah, exactly why I will
I mean,
allow right.
It's either a -1 or a +0, so
But that one can make all the difference.
13 acrobatics.
Okay. You don't cut yourself. Karis, it's hard to judge for yourself how well you're doing. So I'll say to those of you who are keeping an eye on this, I mean, better than the everyday person who has just picked up a sword, that's for sure. Definitely not as good as, like, a trained soldier, but there's a middle ground there, and Karis is in it. Dun. I would say one of you roll a d4 for me.
Gwen.
3.
3. Real. All right. It takes 3 hours to travel along this tunnel, and as it comes to an end, you all are finally entering into low sunlight. At first, it is nerve-wracking as there looks to be much less sunlight than you all would have expected, and there's that momentary concern of like, oh god, did way more time pass while underground than we thought was passing? Like, what's going on? And then you all emerge into a thick grove of trees. It is extremely thick, and it is clear that the sunlight is so muted as it is having a hard time passing through the canopy and underbrush. It takes a moment to orient yourselves, but eventually the edge of this first grove is found, and you can see the fields, the waving grass, and in the distance the walls of the city. You guys are at the very edge of the Swirth Forest, which is along the northern edge of the valley that Shevgard guards the mouth of. So not behind enemy lines for sure, but presumably the army will be here soon, unless you guys are trying to keep going.
I think we probably don't want to let them get too close to the city, right? We want to try and get to them
Yeah,
before they
that's
come to us.
That's what I was thinking. Is we probably want to go to them and not let them come to us.
Slay?
Yeah, we want to get to them before this plague bastard is in position.
Yep.
Besides, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky, and even if we die, there's a time limit on it. So.
All right. Are you all trying to be stealthy-ish? Are you going through the plains? Are you sticking to the woods? What's going on?
I mean, I think we probably want to try and be sneaky about it.
Yeah. I would say definitely stealthy and sticking to the woods.
Then if I could ask you all to roll a group stealth check, and this does include those of you who are riding, so Tito and Brutus as well.
25.
Slay.
This is where I'm so grateful for my scale mail, because I do not get a disadvantage on stealth checks. Oh, has got for a 24.
Kaz also got a nat 20. I don't know if you heard, because I think because Kaz went so high, I don't think the mic picked it up.
I heard 20, and that's all.
Yeah, nat 20 for 24.
Hell yeah.
24 buddies.
Hell yeah. Makes sense, I'm sat on your shoulder.
So this is or isn't with disadvantage?
This
Would be
is.
disadvantage.
Yes.
This one is.
5.
Wahoo.
16.
Slay. I love that for you, Cars.
Yeah, so good.
You all begin to travel through the woods. I will say that since this was a group stealth check, thankfully any impact Cars' roll might have had is negated by the efforts of the rest of you. There are a few close moments, but the collection of you occasionally ducking in to make Karis go a little lower under a branch, or warn him of like a rock that was sticking up. You know, things like that. Teamwork.
Cast way too busy. Or spent focusing too much on the sword and not so much on speaking.
Real. I don't think Karis has told the party yet about the god thing, right?
No,
Slay.
there's not really been a good chance to.
we also have not had a chance to do the RP with Carus and Brutus with his holy symbol yet, because I keep forgetting to do that.
This is true. An F. Alright. Then you guys begin to make progress. It takes still a long time, but not as long as you might have hoped, until you start seeing in the distance dark shapes through the grass, and then they get bigger and bigger, and you can see several larger structures being pushed through the grass, with figures ahead of it doing like a controlled burn. They're not needlessly burning grass, but they're doing a controlled burn to clear the way for these massive siege towers that are being pulled along. And alongside these siege towers, there's masses of soldiers, marching largely in formation, but staying far enough back to let these controlled burners do their job, but clearly at the ready, keeping an eye out. And while some of them do look like they've been in recent battle, there's marks of dirt and blood and scuff marks. There's not any fighting currently going on, so whatever resistance the Alliance had been putting up has already been passed. It does not look like this battalion is spread out enough to also be going through the woods, but there would be a significant amount of space between the edge of the woods and trying to enter this battalion.
How much in feet?
Significant.
Yeah. Like, are we talking like 100 yards, or are we talking like a quarter mile, essentially?
Like a quarter mile, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cue the British going to look up what that is.
About 400 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 500?
400.
400?
Yeah.
Slay.
I can shoot far, but I can't shoot that far.
I think Brutus looks at everyone else and goes, okay, so do we want to let them get by us and then infiltrate from behind? Like, do we want to grab uniforms and see if we can find the big guy that we're looking for? We have a pretty decent array of skills, but taking on a battalion by ourselves is probably outside our range.
If we're looking for someone in particular, do you want me to go into gaseous form and then I can just do a brief recce and see if I can do a general position? It's
Could work. Counterpoint, we are not the only people in the world with magic. So are you willing to run the risk of not coming back from that? Because we will not be in range to help you.
Probably not. Yeah, it's a spell as well. If there's no other option, I'll do that, but...
Checking something, hold on. Okay,
I mean, gaseous form is multiple. It can do multiple people, can't it?
Yeah.
Like, it depends on spell level, it depends on how many people can be.
You transform a willing creature, so it doesn't necessarily have to injure, but I think it's only one. One thing.
Also, one, it's a flying speed of 10 feet, and two, only lasts for an hour. So covering 400 meters, not getting caught, like, that just,
There's a lot of variables.
There's not a lot of margin for error, and that's assuming that we even found, like, the one battalion that this guy is traveling on. Like,
Yeah.
Badly.
Brutus,
Oh,
as you are discussing this plan, listening to Tito's jingles and trying to figure out how the best way to handle this, with your passive perception, you're the only one who spots.
okay.
There is something in the grass. Not that far from all of you, though not necessarily close enough to like jump out and grab it without risking being seen by the Empire, by the Empire forces. But there's something creeping along in the grass, sort of positioned as if watching the Empire, but also oddly turned as if they are aware of all of you as well and are also keeping an eye.
How far away are they?
The grass is tall. You could probably get through the grass without needing to crouch, but anyone else would. But the actual distance away this person is I'd say 55, 60 feet-ish.
Damn it! I was hoping you were gonna say they're like 30 feet away.
No.
I mean,
Which
if they
way
would an eye on us. Oh, well, no, you said only Brutus saw them, right?
Yeah, Brutus has seen them and has not pointed them out to anyone.
Yeah,
I am
ignore
currently-
anything.
Yeah, I'm currently working through what Brutus would work through. Which way is the wind blowing? Like, are they upwind from Thorn, for example?
Go ahead and roll a d4.
D4. That's a 1.
Slay. The wind is blowing towards the north. And you
Okay.
are all positioned roughly north of this person. So it's possible Thorn could pick up a scent.
Okay. I think he's gonna silently ping Thorn and just, hey, we've got a watcher. They look like they're spying on the Empire. See if you can get a whiff real quick. About 55, 60 feet north of us. Or south of us, rather.
You get a slow nod, and she seems to focus for a moment. I will roll for her. Hold on. Oh, today. And after a moment, she replies to you with this kind of thoughtful tone of voice. Yeah, there's someone, a person. Not a scent I recognize, but they... Best guess is some kind of person affiliated with magic. They smell like, ingredients, things people use to cast spells. They don't smell like sickness.
Okay. That's something to work with. I think Brutus mentally flips a coin and almost goes to Thane just because Thane is also short, but then remembers Ivana also works with wizards. So he slides off Thorn and tugs Ivana's sleeve, looks meaningfully at the grass, and says inside their head, we've got someone over there. I feel like we should go talk to them, but they're out of my reach. Thorn says they smell like magic and not like sick.
Not sickness is good. I can try and sneak over there if you want me to. I'm struggling with it a bit today because of all this and gestures to the middle, their stringy donut.
Yeah, no, completely fair. I was wondering if maybe they were in your range, even though they're not in mine.
I see what you mean. Oh, I'm getting... Okay, let me check.
I'm trying not to kill above the table about it.
I have to be able to see them.
Can Ivana see them now that I pointed them out, or is there too much grass in it?
Nirvana can spot the ripple in the grass, but cannot see the purse.
Okay. And then I think Brutus is just gonna say, should I go, like, want me to do it? Because, like, I only have to get about halfway there probably before I can reach him.
I mean, you can, it's up to you. I can teleport a small distance, but I'd rather save that for if we need it. I can only do it once.
Yeah, no. I'll do it the old-fashioned way, don't worry about it. Loop the others in, I'm gonna go take a look, and Brutus is gonna go take a look.
I would just kind of look at like get everyone's attention silently, and just like small wave, and go like look at the grass, like the eye, like the fingers in the eyes, and then like fingers back, like someone's watching us from, and then like pointing in the grass, like someone's watching us from the grass.
Slay.
And then point towards Brutus, who's started scuttering off to be like, Brutus is still dealing with it.
I'm gonna prepare to cast my Crimson Right, but not actually do it, only if I am required to attack.
Real.
Yeah,
So I prepare
ready in action.
Yeah, ready in action to cast my Crimson Right. Because my bow starts glowing, so I'd prefer not to do that if I don't have to.
I mean,
Like Ivana would connect telepathically to everyone now, but we don't know how long this will take, and I only get a couple. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're min-maxing, it's fine.
Yeah, we're basically min-maxing. I'm trying to just leave it for as long as possible until we actually need to talk.
Yeah.
Slay.
And the other fun thing is, if they're 60 feet away, Bruce can hit the halfway point and just play a relay.
Speaking of which, Brutus, go ahead and make me a stealth check.
One of the things I'm very good at.
Wahoo!
So, that is a 19. 12 on the die.
Right.
I love Baby Rogue.
It's fairly easy to creep through the grass. You've never had this kind of thick, long grass nearby where you grew up, but you've been traveling through it enough in the recent weeks that you've kind of gotten the hang of trying to get through it without causing too much of a disturbance, and you're naturally light-footed, so it's even easier. And you begin to creep through, and you're trying to just get 30 feet away from this person, right? You're not trying to go all the way?
Yeah. Like, literally, I am trying to get close enough to be able to silence speech.
Alright. Then, as you do so, you believe you're within 30 feet. It's harder to see the ripple, both from your height and being in the grass at the same time as this person. So you're pretty sure you're about 30 feet from where you estimate they would be right now.
Cool. Then Brutus is just going to project into their brain as best he can. We're looking for an Imperial agent who's trying to destroy Shevgar. Would you like to help?
Roll persuasion.
Oh, great. One of the things I'm considerably less good at. That's 15. Another 12 on the die. Okay.
Alright. There's quiet.
15.
There's quiet for a moment, and then you hear a woman's voice in your mind say, "And who would this be?"
All names are an interesting thing, so call me Four Leaf.
You're not one of my contacts.
Fuck. Does Brutus know Ivana's code name that they got? Because I feel like he does, but I don't remember it off the top of my
You
head.
don't know what or if Ivana has a codename, but you know Ivana's title is Adept. That's like the position Ivana has.
Yeah, like I could have sworn Christophos mentioned it when we found him, but
yes,
could be misremembered. Anyway.
Adept Angarona, which from context with the lyric, you would assume that means Angarona is Ivana's last name.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, Brutus is going to say, yeah, I don't have a lot of contacts out here, but Adept Angarona does, and I'm sure the name lyric is Adept Sackline, right?
Yes. Technically say Moto now, but that's up to you if you think Brutus would bother with that or not.
I don't know that Brutus would know the technicalities of that or care, because I don't think Brutus realizes that lyric kind of outranks Ivana, and he doesn't want to think about it anyway. So that being said, I also think he trusts Ivana slightly more. So I think he's just going to stick with, I'm working with Adept Angarona.
It's quiet for a moment, and then when the woman's voice returns, it sounds kind of like humorous in tone. One of Sakurai's little friends. I was waiting to get a bit of information before I sent a message of my own her way. Which, Brutus, is when you recall that lyric said all of this information came from a warning from a spy who was out there currently. And you realize this is quite possibly said spy. I had noticed an odd group heading in this direction. I assume you're with them.
I mean, if you're talking about the one with the big wolf, yes. There's probably a couple of odd groups out here right now.
Right. Racy there.
Brutus is already moving. Peters race you there, and he's like, well, I got Bitty lit. Hauls ass, and he's also relaying to Ivana, sound lyrics guy coming back to meet you guys.
Slay.
Wait, sorry, I'm just catching a spider.
Real? A very important job.
Can you imagine that Ivana in the long grass? I gotta get this spider. Brutus, hang on, I've got a spider.
It happens.
It's fighting for its life against Hamter.
Real. I'm trying to find something. Oh no, wrong button. Enough.
Wrong button, Crunk!
Real. Is it here? Yes, it is here. Ivana, not long after Brutus has communicated this to you, and by not long, I mean literally a couple seconds, there is a flicker of movement at the edge of the grass, and somebody steps out, just barely a couple steps before Brutus. She has just slightly longer legs than you. And by slightly, I mean much longer. So Brutus, you're not long behind, and you both see a medium-height woman with black hair pulled into a ponytail. She's wearing a green dress and a blue cloak, and has these odd green scales scattered across her face. Maybe she's related to Yanti in some way. And these oddly blackened fingers. Though it doesn't look... It's not blackened in the same way that your fingers were, Brutus, when you were ill. And you see... I'll put this here, since technically your characters don't know this character.
Oh, Charlie recognizes her.
Yeah! That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. The world connects.
Chloe losing their fucking mind.
Nor once more punching the walls at not being here. But she kind of takes a moment to glance around your group, eventually folds her arms and says, "Right, bit ragtag, but I guess we can work with it. You can call me Termite. I'm part of the intelligence network that works with Seimoto Sacrile. You're Angarona, right?" She kind of points towards you, Ivana.
I am.
I've been tracking someone of interest, and we believe that they're currently with this Empire force that is trying to descend upon Shepgard. And if this person is indeed with these forces, I think we will lose the city, which would be quite a problem. They have, I guess you could say, a chemical weapon of sorts. Your friend here kind of gives Brutus a dubious look, indicated that you all were trying to look for someone. I'm hoping that it's the same person.
The plague bastard.
What a pleasant name for her. Yes.
Is that who you're looking for too?
Yes, Jesus Christ.
Professor.
Sure.
Professor Professor Nightshade is who I've been tracking.
Did Grim tell us about that? I don't remember.
No.
I don't think we did.
Motherfucker.
No, I don't think they did.
Grim is too busy staring at the trees right now.
Grim is literally T-posed through a tree trunk halfway up. At like a 45-degree angle to the ground.
It's alright, it works out to our advantage. Because I think Grim would be too busy yelling at this person to be on task. Which is part of the fun. I had plans of my own to try and sneak into their camp, but I'm not the most combat-oriented, so I'm limited in what I can do. Is your sort the punching and hitting sort?
Get as close, we can do the rest.
Normally, I'd be a bit more unsure about this, but I recognize your face for one, glancing again at Ivana. And as much as I hate to admit it, I would prefer Shevgar not fall. I'll tell you what. I can disguise your lot to get you in among the soldiers. Beyond that, there's not much more I can do, beyond providing an exit strategy. I can only give that exit strategy, though, if Professor Nightshade is stopped.
I mean, I don't think we were planning to leave until they were, so...
Well, this works to both of our advantage, then. According to what I've been able to find out, she's currently positioned in about the middle of the forces. She's traveling on horseback. She is disguised. I'm not sure who she's disguised as. Is what I've been trying to determine. The main thing to keep in mind is that she has a sort of aura that she can activate that bestows sickness on anyone around her as long as they are breathing. Or if she touches them. So, and also, once that's activated, it will not end for 12 hours. Even if she dies, it will keep emanating. So,
Do you know the range of that?
It will continually spread for 12 hours. To my understanding, it spreads at a rate of, let's say 15 feet per 6 seconds. Random number, I'm sure.
So, kill her fast, and hopefully we don't have to deal with that.
Yes.
Wonderful.
It would be for the best that she not even managed to activate that aura. So
really, if we can get the item, the object away from her.
It's not an item.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was catching a.
You're all good.
Fucking giant spider.
No.
It was one of the big flying ones. Cream fly, that bastard.
Yes, all she had been saying aura. It is aura. So when Ivana says item, Termite cuts in and says not item. She has turned her body into a biological weapon.
Think if we burn the body, that'll stop it?
That's the hope. Hasn't been tested yet, sadly.
Scientific method, I guess. Yay.
I mean, even if it is a biological weapon, there is some god tied to this. Surely it still has to follow some sort of magical structure.
I'm assuming a single arrow isn't going to do it, right?
If anyone could do it, anyone could.
I severely doubt it. Sadly, she is a favored servant of the Empire in recent years, and she has been given many gifts.
What I'm trying to say above table is, even though she's turned herself into a biological weapon, surely she has to do some sort of VS or M.
To activate it, yes.
Yeah, that's why Ivana was asking, surely it has to follow, the magical rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all I can do is shoot her. I don't have any spell. I can shoot her from 600 feet away, but all I can do is shoot her. That's why I was like, single arrow isn't going to do it, because if I could just snipe her from a distance, I would, but I feel like that's not going to be enough.
Yeah. What Termite is implying is that she is leveled. She will not be taken out in one shot. health-wise.
I could charm her, but if that fails off the bat, then well, it's not smart.
Well, do we have anything to go off of more than she's somewhere in the center of their forces and on horseback? Is that all we have to work with?
She's magically disguised. I would know her at a glance, even if she was wearing different clothes, had painted her face, anything of the sort. So she's currently magically disguised.
And we don't know who has, which is obviously a hindrance. So
Do
we have to move.
this war off in the middle of their own forces?
They work for the veracity. The odds are good they're already infected to some degree or another. Also, it would be advantageous to set it off in the middle of their forces because then she doesn't have to waste the time as she moves into Chevguard to activate it herself. And for all we know, having it activated near the Veracity's forces will give them some sort of advantages or power boost or something. So, our best bet is I have rope and a dagger. Ivana, how quick do you think you and I could bind her wrists and ankles and cut out her tongue?
Yo.
I mean, cutting out the tongue isn't the hard part.
This is true. This is very true. Like, we're gonna have to do this fast.
Yeah, tongue would be the fastest, but we need to get her bound first.
I mean, I can have like a binding curse that could maybe help.
Above the table, what does that actually look like?
So I can, as a bonus action, like attempt to bind a large or smaller creature within 30 feet of me. It must succeed a strength saving throw, or the cursed creature's speed is reduced to 0, and it cannot take reaction until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Wilder, would you say that qualifies as inhibiting the somatic component?
Somatic is hands, right? No, because while speed is 0, it doesn't say that would be, like incapacitated or paralyzed. So she can still move her hands.
Yeah, the somatic component of spellcasting is what I'm thinking. We don't know the activation, so if that won't bind her completely, I feel like we do have to just stick with rope, unless we want to see if you can pin her down with arrows.
Well, it stops her running away.
There is that. That's not nothing.
I do have...
I mean...
Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just saying we could always... I'm also just thinking, once we find her, we don't know who else is going to be around her. We may not have a strong chance or a quick enough chance to be able to do this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to worry about the rest of the battalion and all of this as well.
Yeah. It's not like we can go straight to her and by the time we start fighting, word is going to get to her. Either way, whether she knows we're coming for her or not, it doesn't matter. She'll get information anyway.
She knows I'm coming for.
Contention. I've got 2 flasks of oil on me. How well do you think she'd be able to concentrate if we set her on fire?
Not very long. I could easily, as long as I'm close enough to her, teleport, cut out her tongue, and then at least try and pin her down.
We have a number of options here, so I
And I
suggest
we could always make some sort of makeshift Molotov, and I can take it in with me.
Brutus will hand you one of the flasks of oil with some of the string. He's got 10 foot of string. He's going to cut off like a foot of that, dip it in the flask, and tie it off, hand it to you. And then do the same for himself.
Fantastic. I'm gonna just like rip off some of my shirt and like her tuck that into it as well, and some more for Brutus too.
Cool. Alright, cool. So we have a number of options, a number of plans. Plans never survive contact with the enemy, so any other ideas we should be aware of, or shall we just go?
Well, Tama, you said that you had some way that you might be able to disguise us to get us in close.
Yes, I do indeed. It will have to be of the unmagical sort, as she has a skill for seeing through spells. But she takes a moment and kind of pulls, tied from her hip, what looks like a small bag, and then pops it open and sinks her whole arm up to her elbow into it. And rummaging around in her presumed bag of holding for a bit, she eventually begins to pull out clearly, battle-used uniforms of the Empire. Not so used that it's clear their original wearer might be dead, but you won't be sticking out like brand new shinies, you know?
I hear your Clone Wars reference.
No comment.
I will say, whatever we decide on, we will have to be careful. I will not be able to heal anyone if it comes to it.
Out of curiosity, she's done all these things to herself. She's still.
Say again? Oh, okay.
Thinking. She's still classified as alive?
A brilliant question. I say no. She says yes.
Above the table, is she classified as undead?
Shrug emoji.
I will remember that right here with something because it does make a difference.
No, I know. I'm telling you, you the player have no reason to know or be able to know. So I'm not going to tell you.
That's what I was asking Tama if she had any idea if she was like still alive with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Nora's in the chat, y'all. He dropped one eyeball emoji.
Can I just check, do you have a tinderbox?
I do in fact have a tinderbox.
Okay, great. Sorry, just making sure.
I also have 5 candles, which is, trust me, I am considering all sources of ignition, including whether or not it firebolts.
You have firebolt?
No, whether or not you do.
No,
or Tito, for that matter.
Tito, do you have firebolt? No, wait, I have your spells in front of me.
I've got Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. No, that's... No. We need something with fire damage. No, I don't think you have that. No, prestidigitation is a like cleaning. Is the basic one with it. How are we meant to find her underneath all the disguises?
Not entirely
Big
certain.
arm. decently big army, and they're not traveling with a lot of cavalry, so that'll help.
Is anyone able to detect magic?
No.
Technically, I can, but there's no way I'm going to be able to enter that group.
Tito, is there something you can do?
What's this one?
Do you have like detect magic or anything like that? No, Tito does not. Tito squeaks and says, "Nope, sorry."
Tito itself was so
Real. Let me take a glance if Grim does.
Why do I have a feeling that Grim does have to detect magic? I could be completely wrong.
Officers do detect magic? That feels wild.
Does not have detect magic.
Man.
That would be the simplest way, wouldn't it?
Do they have dispel magic?
No.
Does Tito have dispel magic? Tito might have dispel magic.
Tito does not.
Damn
Although
it.
I still haven't changed my spells from when we did that one shot. So
So it depends if you like has changed their spells. They haven't. I don't know if you heard them, but they haven't changed it since their spells since the train one shot.
and I was gonna change one of them for a magic spell. A detect or the diffuse, whatever
The spell.
that one. Just
I-
find it.
Fuck it. I'll allow it.
Yay!
We have leveled up since then, so.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which one do you want to change out?
Read them out to me because there's one that I remember. I'm not gonna use that.
Cause fear, clouds of daggers, featherfall, gaseous swarm, summon fey, thunderstep.
I think it was Featherfall?
Swap out featherfall for dispel magic,
Yeah.
or detect magic.
Oh, one is find, one is.
Get rid of.
Let's do get rid of.
Yeah, dispel magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tito has dispel magic.
Hell yeah.
It's also got a range of 120 feet, so
Yeah.
that's right on the Eldritch Blast range, is all I'm saying.
Fuck yeah, concrete.
Concrete!
Hell yeah. Then
So, to be clear, is the plan we are going to get into the camp, we're going to find a woman on a horse, Tito's going to cast dispel magic to see if it removes the illusion, and if it's Professor Nightshade, we kill her. That's the plan we're going with.
Sounds like it.
That's putting it in very straightforward terms, yes.
If you are going to be dispelling magic, then there is the chance you will see her real face. I believe that her physical form has become quite damaged, but I have not been able to see it with my own eyes in quite a span of time, so I'm not entirely certain. But in case you need to identify her and be sure it is her once said dispelling has occurred, I do have something that could potentially help. And she reaches up to her neck and snaps something on a chain, and holds out to all of you a small, like, satchel. It's like a small leather satchel. And when she pops it open, there's a few bit of herbs. There's a piece of hair, and there's a small, very accurate looking pencil sketch of a woman with a very severe face, hair kind of pulled up into a dark bun, and she holds out the pencil drawing. That is what she looked like once upon a time.
Question: when you say small statue, is it teacher size, or do you just mean like
Smaller.
Okay, I was going to say, can teacher wear it?
It's like just smaller than a wallet, you know?
Okay.
It's backpack sized.
Can I put it in his hat?
She does not give you the whole thing. She's just giving the drawing. She is not giving you a piece of hair, sadly.
Oh, shame.
And they'll make sure they've had a chance to commit that face to memory, but feels like Advantage probably hold on to that. She's the one that's going to try and pounce this one.
Yes, I will take the picture.
Slay. Right, well then, the lot of you dress up. I can possibly try to make some form of mild distraction so that you can slip in among the ranks. And then I wish you luck in killing the professor. Looking forward to good news.
We can hope for good news.
Certainly. And with that, as you guys are beginning to get dressed in this clothing, then exactly, Nor, fuck me, Connor, I meant. I was getting confused looking at north above.
Alright, I'm not that pretty, jeez.
But we'll end session there for now, and we'll resume next time with all of you infiltrating this battalion to try and find this mysterious woman who definitely has no connections to Grimm's backstory.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
That was so convincing.
Yes. Definitely didn't fuck over Coel at all, didn't fuck over anyone else. It's great and fine. Thank you so much for playing, guys.
Thank you for running the game.